I call it the DSP framework. Thanks for paying a visit. 5-step like blueprint for doing it. It's like simplifying the complex thing that the engine died. The first one is, of course, I would say this is a simple blueprint for dealing with complex things that I always use. Okay, let's see. It's TestguruTV time again. The question of the day is...
how to simplify complex things.
The dude sitting next to me, ultimate champion of testing, Jani, Tuna, Haikala.
Hello, and here next to me is Antti Niittyviita, a tireless testing advocate, a trainer, a public speaker, and an author.
And you gotta subscribe this, because this is a weekly show about mental health in software industry. Everybody is so much more happier when software works.
Welcome to the show.
Blim, 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 jingle, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Jingle bells, jingle bells. So the question was how to simplify complex things.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And this seems like a complex question for me.
Yeah, it's
I don't know how to simplify this.
Yeah, what's super interesting about this is like it's a simple question about the complex topic. So it's I think it's already implies the question that you can simplify somehow complex stuff.
Nice.
Am I right? Simple question about the complex thing, and that's like a great example for this is for example if we start talking about definition of done, most people know what we mean, so that's simplifying a complex thing, so giving it like a different kind of a meaning by like giving it a word that we can use. When we start to talk about bugs, it's a complex thing, am I right?
Yeah.
And the one concept simplifies it.
Yeah, the problem with bugs maybe could be that still different people understand it in a different way.
Exactly. And then we have a platform for discussing what's the meaning for you for bug and what's the meaning I have about it.
True.
So, and it's the same thing about definition of done. So when I ask in workshops from testing and development people, so what's your definition of done? In a workshop from the same team, people have different definitions of done. So it's like it's really strange, and those kinds of discussions are super valuable.
And we do that in Prove also quite a lot. Clarify and verify. That's the mantra that we have.
Exactly, clarify and verify.
Yeah.
And that all immediately points out to this action plan about what we can do and stuff like that. So it's simplifying the complex things in those terms. But then there is the when I think about this question, how to simplify complex things, I would go into more detail about what is it when you simplify. So what is simplifying? So one of the answers might be giving a meaning through a word or a concept that we use. It's simplifying a complex thing. Yeah. But can it be something else?
Yeah, I mean, for me, my mind goes to sort of the testing context.
Yeah.
And
that's actually why you're here.
Yeah.
I'm
might
here
be,
too,
might
so
be. I don't really know why else I would be here. But so in testing also, you need to be able to, from a complex product, most commonly, you need to be able to define the most important areas.
Exactly.
Where you need to focus on, what you don't really want to focus on.
Yeah.
So you need to do the prioritizing, make stuff sense like of the entirety and sort of prioritize things.
Yeah.
So
this actually, like when you started to explain it like this, like break down and prioritize stuff, it actually brings me to it's like a mental framework that I have.
Yeah.
I call it the DSP framework.
Okay, interesting.
It's not digital signal processing if you are involved with that kind of stuff, but DSP, like if you remember that word, that it makes so much easier. But this is actually simplifying a complex thing. DSP is like my mental model.
Please tell more.
And the D, it's an acronym. So the D stands for Deconstruct. So that's something that when we have questions here, we actually like, this is like something like episode 17 maybe.
Around that, yeah.
So in every episode when I approach questions, I start first with the deconstruction. So it's the questions about the questions that you do as well.
Yeah.
And for this question, what what is it when you simplify? What can be those things? So it's deconstructing the question. So let's talk about simplifying first, and then let's talk about complex things. What are the complex things, and how do we scope? How do we define it? And but anyway, deconstructing. It's the same thing that you do with when you start to test something new. You experiment on it and look at it and think about, the UI can be deconstructed in these kind of modules, and there is the data and there's the time and stuff like that.
Right. Yeah.
So you do deconstructing. And then there is the DSP. So S stands for selection. So you select and you select what's important here. So for example, in some situations in testing context, the small usability stuff may not be that important as the actual outcome business result that you're aiming for. And sometimes how smooth and like fluent is it to use, that's the most important thing. So you need to choose what are the important stuff. And it's the same thing with the question. So simplify complex things. You go deep into simplifying and deconstruct it, and then select what's important about simplifying. It's the same thing here. So DSP, so deconstruct, select what's important. And then the final thing, that now that you understand what are the important stuff, the P stands for, can you guess what it is? Can you guys guess? Maybe
that word has come up already in this discussion.
It may have. I'm pretty sure. But it's prioritize. So decide what's the order of approach. So if you don't have unlimited amount of time, what should you focus on the first? So so this is like, I would say this is a simple blueprint for dealing with complex things that I always use. Okay, let's see. Hey, if you're the kind of a tester who wants to achieve next level as a testing professional, I really invite you to come to Testguru Insiders. It's completely free. And that way you will get the new episodes of TestguruTV minimum of 1 week before everyone else does in the world. And in addition to that, you will get invited to our live studio sessions and live seminars where we have sometimes even guest speakers, and all that for free. So join the Testguru Insiders by navigating to the URL prove.guru/insiders. Prove.guru/insiders. And I'm spitting here while I'm speaking. I'm so excited about seeing you on the Insiders. Please come. Let's deconstruct. Let's select. And
that's a really nice way to put it, because sort of my thoughts are along the same lines, but I really wouldn't have been able to put it in words like that. So you're really good in summarizing that.
And this is actually like thinking about like this simplifying, how to simplify complex things. I love the concept of simple rules, and there is a book I really liked it. It's not very like rocket sciencey book. It's like short self-development like piece called The Simple Rules. and like, it's, if I recall correctly, it was written by Donald Sull and someone else. It was a lady. Just can't remember, but I hope we can get a screenshot on this video. Donald Sull and Simple Rules, the book. And you know, it's the same idea in Atul Gawande's book, the Checklist Manifesto too. For example, flying an airplane it's super complex thing, and when you are in a crisis in a cockpit, you need to have this kind of a blueprint to approach the solving the problem that you have. For example, the left engine just like died. What do we do? So for example, in this situation, there is like this 5-step. I'm sure if I can recall it, but let's try it. 5-step like blueprint for doing it. It's like simplifying the complex thing that the engine died. The first one is, of course, for pilots, aviate the plane. So don't forget to like fly the plane, because it will fly without the engine too if you remember to fly it. Aviate, then navigate. If you need to do a landing, you need to have like place to do it. Communicate to the officials and communicate to your passengers and stuff like that. And then try to investigate, see if you can restart the engine. And the fifth one is, of course, secure. If you need to do the emergency landing, you need to like shut down the gasoline, you know, the kerosene vents and stuff like that. So you got to secure that it doesn't explode on impact. So all that stuff, it's like simple rules bring you to a pretty safe result in a crisis in an airplane. So that's why I like simplifying things this way.
That's really, really good. I like the idea. Yeah.
I was like, I'm not sure if this answered the question at all.
At least I think it's sort of helped with
some tools, maybe.
Yeah.
I hope so.
Yeah.
If you feel like we need to discuss something more about this question, please don't hesitate to use the comments field. And if you have questions about this question or anything else in testing, quality assurance, or life, please don't hesitate to post those questions. Also, hammer the hearts and the like buttons on the video. Please do that. And if someone may benefit from this video, please don't hesitate to share the link with them.
Was I supposed to say something?
I'm not sure. I was looking at you if you were supposed to say something, but yeah.
Yeah. Thank you for joining us. It has been a pleasure for us, at least. Hope it has been a pleasure for you too. And please join us next week
for yet another episode of Testguru TV.
Thank you. Bye.